So this is the Ponte Vecchio Lusso 1 lever espresso machine. As you can see, it comes with the lever arm which screws in place, the portafilter, a single basket, a double basket, and the standard tamper. Now this doesn't actually fit exactly the size of the basket. The one side is too big, the other side is a bit too small, but you know, it serves its purpose and it's perfectly usable. The coffee machine has removable drip tray cover, and inside there's the insert, so everything's easy to take away to clean. The top plate here, where you can pop your coffee cups etc. to warm up, that just comes off like this. Inside you can see the boiler, the 3-litre boiler. To fill it up, all you do is remove the cap like this, pop in any funnel and just fill water inside. There's a gauge on the front here so you can see the level of water that's in there, and just pop the cap back on, and that's all you need to do to fill it up. Pressure gauge is here. Now as standard it's set to about 1.6, which apparently is too high, so you can adjust it, which I have done, so when it heats up you'll see it just goes to 1.2, which is about perfect for this machine. There are two sort of arms on here. This is the steam arm and this is hot water. These are just controlled by the valves at the sides that you can see here. Yeah, the lever arm just screws in like this. It's a very well made thread. There's no play once it's screwed in. I mean, that'll last forever. And to actuate it, you just press down the lever, which lifts up the piston, allowing water to go through to the group head, and then when you release it, it puts the pressure onto the coffee, which when the portafilter is in place. So that's the basic overview. So I'm going to turn the machine on now to see it working. So the machine is now heated up, and you can see it's up to about 1.2 bar. This element light, when it's on, the boiler is working, so the element's active. When the light's off, the element is switched off. So when the light goes off, you know that it's ready, as well as obviously looking at the pressure gauge. Now when it first gets up to 1.2 bar, it has what's called false pressure in the boiler, so what you need to do is remove that pressure via the steam wand, and then the boiler will heat up again, and then everything will be ready and functioning properly. So if we just open the steam wand now, you'll see that the pressure gauge is going to drop down and down to 0 normally. So at this point, close that off, you can hear the boiler has kicked in again, the light's on, so that's going to heat the water up. The gauge will go back up to 1.2, and then everything will be ready to make some coffee. Right, so now the machine is properly up to temperature, so if I put the just put a cup under the steam arm, I'll put some steam out, and you'll see that the pressure gauge will now just remain pretty much stable. So if you turn this on, the boiler kicks in to keep the steam going, and you can see that the gauge is staying in the same place as the steam comes out. Now this thing produces a great amount of steam, and it's very quick at sort of heating up the milk and steaming the milk, if you like cappuccinos. Right, so now I'll just actually show you the water valve. Now this does occasionally drip. You can see there's a couple of drops just come out. I mean, that's as bad as it gets. It doesn't do it all the time. Sometimes when I use it, it drips, sometimes not. But it's not an issue. It's just, you know, you just wipe it up and that's it. So I'll just show you the water outlet. I mean, I never use this, but I mean, it's quite, the water comes out extremely quickly, so you have to be careful. It's quite violent, it can be. So you just open the valve very gently. If you open it fast, will just literally blow all of the water back out of the cup, so you have to be careful with it. But it's there in case you need it. It's quite useful, I suppose, if you're making a tea for someone as well. Anyway, what I'll do is I have got some ground coffee in the portafilter. Now I'm going to make a quick cappuccino. Actually, before I do that, let me just show you the lever. So when you press the lever down, you'll see the water come through like that. So that's how that works. Now I'm going to quickly make a coffee. I've got some ground beans in here. Now these, my grinder which is here, is set for my Gaggia, so this isn't going to produce the kind of crema that this machine can do if the grind is correct for it. I don't have the time now to, you know, go through the process of adjusting the grind, but anyway, at least you'll be able to see the machine making a coffee. So let me just grab my cup. Okay, I mean, I have the single basket in place, and the way it works is you just basically press down the lever very slowly, because if you press it too fast, what happens is when you press the lever down, it draws the piston up inside the group head, and it can disturb the coffee inside the portafilter if you do it too fast, because it has to draw air up through the portafilter. So bring the lever down very slowly, and if you hold it down at the bottom position, normally a bit of coffee comes through, then just release it, and then that will produce the espresso. I normally give it sort of 2 pumps. Obviously you don't have to, but I do. But before it gets to the top, I'll just slowly put the lever back down, and then just let it release all the way to the top this time, and then that's the coffee done. I normally use a double basket, but I thought I'd try the single one because I haven't used that. I've never really used it before. And what I love about this is just the silence when this is working. I mean, it's great compared to my Gaggia Classic, which, you know, does make quite a lot of noise when it's working. And this is great to have a silent coffee machine. So that's about it. I apologise, my tripod is broken, so I have to hold the camera myself whilst I'm doing this, so it's a bit awkward. But if I just remove this now carefully, I'll just get this out of the way. So there's the coffee. You can see the crema is not perfect on this because, as I say, the grind isn't, you know, set for this machine, but at least you can see how it works. In fact, what I'll do, I'll also steam some milk just so you can see that working. Let me just purge the wand. So I'm not particularly good at steaming milk, but here we go. And this milk's fresh from the fridge. It's not a huge jug, but you'll see how quickly it steams the milk. That's pretty much about the temperature I normally do it to. It is faster than my Gaggia, and as I say, this thing will steam all day long. It's got a great boiler for steaming, being a 3-litre boiler. So there you go. That's the machine.